This is isopropyl alcohol, 99% isopropyl alcohol to be specific. This is what I use in every soap making video ever made to stick the soap layers together and to pop the bubbles that occur on top of them. But I have long held the question, how much alcohol is too much alcohol? Not for drinking, but for soap making. Allegedly, there is a fine line between too little and just right and too much. So I want to see exactly what is too little, just right, and too much. So we're going to be using different spritz levels to determine which is the ideal level of spritziness. We're going to test in one loaf mold. We're going to test lots of different layers. In one loaf mold, we're going to start with no spritzes, then one spritz, then two spritz, then three spritz, then four spritz, then five spritz, then six spritz, all the way up in one loaf mold. And then when we cut into it, we'll be able to see what layers fall apart and which layers stick together. That's the plan. I just made it up as we go. Here we go. Okay, for this, we're going to be doing 8 ounces of goat milk soap base because that is what I use most of the time. Most of this is just kind of for my own edification. And if you guys are interested in soap making, this might help you as well. But since I traditionally use goat milk soap base, that is the base that we are going to use, and we're going to be cutting up 8 ounces of it to do 6 different layers, which means that we'll be able to go up to 5 spritzes, I believe. And then we're also going to be adding some red soap dye so that we can better track which layers are which. So we're going to be adding 0 drops to the first one, that will spritz 0 times, 1 drop, 2 drops, etc., so on and so forth. It'll correlate with the amount of spritzes that we did on top of that layer. I am still going to spritz the soap after I pour it to get rid of the bubbles. This is mainly to look at spritzing the soap before pouring the next layer. So there is still going to be spritzing of the soap to pop the bubbles, just not to help the layers stick together, because that's the main purpose of what we're testing, is how many spritzes is too many to where the layers will then fall apart when we cut into it. Welcome to the first video of December, by the way. My plan for December is we're going to have a video out every day. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button so I know which videos you guys like and which videos you don't like. This is a huge endeavor for me. I started this at the beginning of November, and so I didn't give myself much time, and plus I wanted to give myself a Christmas vacation. So I've been filming and editing a lot over the last 2 months. So it's a little bit of a daunting of a task, but if you guys like it, please let me know in the comments.
You can force feed trash, I'll let you kick my balls before I even thought about letting someone touch my clogs.
We're going to pour, spritz the top to pop any bubbles, and then wait a little bit for that layer to set, come back, and then that second layer will be the first test of the isopropyl alcohol, because we are not going to be spritzing it before pouring the next layer, and then the layer after that will spritz it once. And so when I say spritz, that would be 1 spritz. All right, I will see you guys back here in 30 minutes. Welcome back to this with me. Another 8 ounces. This is going to be 1 drop of red dye added to it, because once we pour the next layer, we're going to be spraying 1 spray of isopropyl alcohol. It's going to help us identify which layers are good and which layers are bad. Stir that in. Pretty pink. Okay, but this first layer, we're not spraying any alcohol. We're just going to spray to pop the bubbles on top. First layer, no alcohol. Is this even on? Yes. Sprayed once to pop bubbles. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, and then we'll come back and then we'll spray 1 time to stick those layers together. See you here. Okay, this is going to have 2 drops of red glycerin dye, and then we're going to be spraying the layer once before pouring it. What is your guess on what the most effective spray is going to be? I'm guessing it's going to be 3. What if they all just fall apart? It's just a failed experiment. That would be so sad. Oops, that fell. I don't know why I'm tearing it. We're not adding fragrance oil. But we are adding 2 drops of red dye. We can see the different layers once we cut into it. So excited for the results, guys. Don't let muscle memory take over. We're spraying once. We're spraying a total of 1 time. I got alcohol once. That's it. We're going to let that sit, and we'll come back for spraying 2 times, and then 3 times, and then 4 times, and then 5 times. Oh, I'm back. 4th layer. It's the 4th layer of the soap. All right, and then 3 drops of the true red, and then we're going to spray twice on the soap loaf before pouring. Make sure I have spray. And then boop. All right, next time it's going to be 3 times. This is a really pretty pink ombre. I may have to make a real ombre soap in the future. So pretty. Today I have made 2 videos where my mic was not on that I've had to redo. So that's been fun. I'm paranoid about my mic. This is not Mike's mic approved. It's not even me approved. It's not anybody approved. It's a disgrace is what it is what it is. Now it's 3 sprays. This is the one that I thought would be the one. I dropped another one again. Everything is going awful, but it's okay. Sometimes things go awful and you push through it anyway. And now it's 4 drops, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means we're spraying the top of the mold 3 times. 3 times. 4. Like, next layer is going to be the last layer with 4 sprays in the middle and 5 drops of dye. And then we'll cut into it. My mic was murdered by itself. So I'm gonna have to just scream at you now. Let's be real, the mic was a bit superfluous anyways. Learned that word from the Grinch that Stole Christmas. Cindy Lou Who had quite the vocabulary on her. Even though she pronounced it superfluous, which is cute. 5 drops. No need to tear, we're not adding fragrance oil. That's a note to myself. Not talking to you guys, just talking to me, guys. One, 2, 3, 4. We can probably do one more layer in there. Yeah, let's do one more. 5 spritzes. That's what I mentioned at the beginning. Then I thought I lied. But I'm not a liar. So we'll do 5. Last layer, best layer. 6 drops of color, 5 spritzes. No mic. And then when we cut it, we're going to be cutting it horizontally instead of vertically. I know I say in my videos that you want to cut it vertically to decrease the amount of pressure put on the layers, but this is all about the pressure on the layers. We want to see which fall apart and which stay together. So we're going to be cutting it horizontally this time. You'll see. We'll get there when we get there. God, The Incredibles is such a good movie. There's a great video essay on why The Incredibles 2 is not a very good movie. I've seen it probably like 3 or 4 times in its entirety, and it's like probably 6 hours long because it's multiple parts. I'll put them in the link in the description, but oh my gosh, it's so good. I really like that one, and then they have another one on Toy Story 4 that I really agree with. I did not like Toy Story 4. I thought it had a lot of problems with it, and it was really validating to see such a long video essay going very meticulously through what all the problems were, and me being like, yeah, I knew it wasn't a good movie. In my opinion, I did not enjoy it, even before watching the video essay, but the video essay made me like it even less. And you know, that's just kind of what happens. I love bad media though. Like, probably my favorite bad movie that I've seen was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. What a trash movie. Not very good, but very enjoyable for me personally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that is full to the brim. So we're gonna let that set completely, which means like a couple of hours. And then when I cut it, we'll see the results. All right, it is time to cut into some soap. Let's unmold this guy. Once again, I just have to reiterate how beautiful this soap loaf is. I did not make it with the intention that it would be beautiful, but like, god damn, I am a sucker for a gradient, and that is gorgeous. I can already tell that the bottom is going to come apart because as I was unmolding it, this corner started to lift off there, you see. But ain't no time like the present time. Okay, so I'm gonna actually come a little bit closer so you can see the intricacies. You can't see, it's too dark. You can see the top 4 layers are kind of joined together, but the bottom 3 layers went kung 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 all the way down. So there's a ledge here, here, and here going down. And that one, the bottom layer, is almost coming off. I think I'm going to cut half of this now because it's been about an hour, 2 hours since I poured the last layer, and then I will cut the rest of it tomorrow when it's had a little bit more time to set and it's a little bit more firm. It's still pretty soft, so the layers are sticking together a little bit better. Yeah, you can kind of see on the sides there, it's still got that little bit of ledging going on. Very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of this set for tomorrow so that it's a little bit less sticky, and then more pressure will be applied to each of the layers when it's a little bit harder. See you guys tomorrow. All right, it's the next day now, so we're going to cut into the rest of the soap to see how it holds up now that it's a lot firmer. I cut that at an angle. That was not very good of me. Let's try it again. Interesting. What it's kind of doing is it's kind of putting pressure on all of the layers, so they're all kind of falling apart. But this one, if I were to twist it at the layers, the top layer came off. And that one came off. That seems to be right in the middle though of where I was twisting it, so it's possible that that was just the point where the most torque was happening. Is that the right word? I'm really surprised that the bottom layer hasn't fallen off, since that's the layer that doesn't have any alcohol spritzed on it. Once again, it's creating lots of those little steps there. So all of the layers are not holding up super well when cutting straight down. And the top layer again is definitely coming off. You can see it's already started to fall off there. It's very interesting that they are all kind of moving around instead of, I'm going to try to cut it a little bit faster. Faster does not necessarily mean more accurate though. Look at that angle. So what it kind of looks like is, as far as the steps go, you can see this one's moved a lot, but these ones at the bottom are not moving around a whole heck of a lot. That's very interesting. If I were to cut it like this, they're probably all going to be able to stick together. That's just a beautiful soap bar. I love it. This is so fascinating. When I cut it horizontally, it works perfectly fine. Even that top layer that was falling off of the other bars, cutting it horizontally, they're all sticking together very beautifully. Last one. If I cut it at an angle like this, just trying different things. Oh, we see this bottom is coming off there. And then this middle one is coming off a little bit. But the top one seemed to be holding together good. This is so interesting. I don't know what any of this means, but it's interesting. Oh, that top one came off of that. Fascinating. So 2 or 1 and 3 seem to be holding up the best when I apply the same kind of pressure that I applied on the other layers. It seems less willing to break apart. Fascinating. I don't know what any of this means, but if you're smarter than me, let me know in the comments what all this means. Yeah, if you found this interesting, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. I'm going to be making a video every day in December, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about it. It's a really daunting challenge, but I wanted to end this year with a bang. So This will be a good way for you guys to let me know what content you're most interested in seeing from me. If you like any of the videos that I have coming out in December, make sure to let me know and I'll try to make more of those videos in the new year. I have a TikTok where I post every day, so you can check me out at Artistic Antics LLC. I also sell my soaps. I'm not going to be selling this one though, because it's falling apart. But if you want me to make this soap again, but with fragrance oil, this same design, let me know also. You can also sign up for my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. It really helps me out, helps me be able to keep the lights on. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!